How's it going, guys? Joshua Lim, aka Limit Out, and I'm here today of the 11th of March. It's currently 7:25, and I got a lot of fog today. I'm hoping today's gonna be pretty good. Air temperature is about to get all the way up to about 77 degrees. We've had a lot of cold fronts in the past. And this is about to be one of the warmest days that we've had so far here in the early spring. Now, if you look behind me, I'm fishing the Escambia Bay bayous. This is Redfish Bayou, and we'll be hitting up Mills Bayou. We'll go up further up into the Escambia River looking for redfish as well. Now, yesterday we caught a lot of fish, and it was in 25 to 30 mile per hour winds blowing from the south. Now, when you got all that wind blowing from the south, it pushes fish to the northern banks. And what I like to do is fish dead-end bayous. That way, all that wind forces all those fish to one particular spot. And when you find them, you can find them really thick and schooled up and fill up a box quickly. That's pretty much what happened yesterday. Missed a couple of big fish yesterday. I'm hopefully going to go back there and look for them again today, and I'm sure they're still going to be there. And this is what I'm going to use today, real quick. One, I'm going to throw a paddle tail, some matrix shad on a GoldenEye jig head. Alright, that's going to be for working the bottom. Alright, another thing I like to do is throw a jerk bait, suspending bait. Alright, somewhere in the flats, you know, those fish are going to be holding, and I'm going to want my bait not on the bottom, not on top, but right in between. All those fish are going to be suspended. And one of my favorite lures to use is this bomber. Alright, it's got a blue back, it's a floating, it dives about 1 foot, great for shallow water flats. Another thing we do today, we got an incoming tide, and with the incoming tide, the water's going to be a little bit lower, which is just fine. We got the fog, so low light visibility, and topwater bait. This is a newer topwater bait. It's not your everyday Zara Spook or Skitter Walk. It's actually a whopper plopper made by River to Sea. And haven't used it too much. This is the smaller version. I'm going to test it out today. It's got a lot of action. It's almost like a buzz bait and spook put together. So I'm going to see how that works today as well. Alright, now that's all I got for now. I'm about to launch the boat, see what we can do. Till then, tight lines. Alright, first fish of the morning. Started throwing a jerkbait, and right away I noticed that the fish wanted it fast. I mean, you gotta burn it in front of them right now, which is awesome, you know, getting those reaction strikes. And let me get this guy on hook. Okay, nice little speckled trout, beauty. And let me show you what I'm doing here. I'm gonna get resituated again. Alright. I'm gonna cast out. Switch. And I'm never stopping my reel movement. Constantly twitching, constantly reeling, and every once in a while, you know, go ahead and pause, but you don't have to pause for long at all. Maybe just enough time to give your hand a break, but you want to keep it moving. Okay. And another one. Same thing, working it fast, and getting slammed at the same time. Another speckled trout. Alright, just caught another one on the jerkbait. The fish are really active right now with that water temperature coming up. It's about 68 degrees, that magical number. And you know, another thing going on right now here in the Pensacola area is the sheep's head bite. I guarantee you the sheep's head bite is on fire over there at the pass. They're moving up. We just had a full moon. I guarantee that those sheep's head are going to be over there. Y'all need to get on either some of this action or some of that sheep head action. And sure enough, in about a week or two from now, the bull red's going to start running in the pass as well, and right outside the beaches. So we're going to have a lot of action over here. Y'all need to get on it, and I'm going to keep showing y'all how to catch some more fish here in just a sec. Got another one on, peeps. Tell you what, the action out here is unbelievable. I'm having a blast doing this. another tip for using these jerk baits is you want a really soft tip on your rod. That way, when a fish hits it, it gets that bend in the rod really easily. Another thing is have your drag set really loose. Every time I twitch the rod, the drag peels just a little bit. That way when the fish slams it, because when trout hit, they're usually going at like lightning speed. So when they hit, boom, drag can peel. And definitely recommend some off right now, because I'm getting just completely bit by these mosquitoes and gnats and no-see-ums, whatever they are. They're attacking me. I'm getting eaten alive, but catching a bunch of fish too. Y'all stay tuned. Oh, head crasher. Alright, yeah. Shake that head. Oh, he came off. Another one. Bunch of clones out here today. Like I say, it's paramount to work it fast. Gina and I are out here catching, tons of fish out here using these jerk baits. Like I said before, got that rattle in it. And they're loving it. Throwing a greenback and a blueback. I got the blue, Cleanest got the green, and still having a good time out here whacking some fish. Stay tuned. All right, we just ran into a school of bait. Threw the Mirrodine at first, and had one pop off. Looks like we got redfish here. Whatever it is, it's dogging right now. I think he just found out that he's hooked. But yeah, lost one. Oh, just popped off. Son of a gun. Got another one over here. Came back to the piling spot. After losing all those reds, we decided to go right back to trout. Hey, how's it going, guys? This is Limit Out. Alright, so recap of the day. Alright, this was the lure of the day. My bomber, little floating jerk bait, and let's turn them up today. Some of the key pointers on how you're going to be able to catch more fish is to listen to the fish. And what do I mean by that? Is that earlier this morning when we're working the grass flats, I was just working at a normal cadence, just 1, 2, 3, stop, 1, 2, stop, 1, stop, 1, 2, 3, just a normal cadence, but not getting any bites. And then I remember at one point I just started reeling in, burning in real quick just to make another cast, and sure enough I see a speck following it. I'm like, oh, okay, they want it fast. Make another cast out there and just started working it. Non-stop reeling and twitching at the same time, boom, hooking up. And that happened till about 11. We must have caught, I don't know, I'm on teen fish. So that was great. Then right around noon, things started to change. We weren't getting any more bites. So I started to slow down just a little bit. And sure enough, with that same cadence, 1, 2, 3, stop, with a longer pause, started getting strikes. All right, now we're catching more fish. Later on in the day, we started working points, and we found some redfish. Awesome. We couldn't get any of them to the boat, but one of the key things of catching or getting those bites was just to cast into the middle of the bait that we were surrounded by, and letting your bait sit in that bait ball. By bait, I mean a gulp shrimp, a Mirrodine, and of course the matrix shad. All three of those hooked into redfish today. But for some reason, they just kept popping off at the boat. It was just one of those days. Maybe that's just what happens when you catch 20 trout in one day. You lose a bunch of redfish. But I hope some of these key pointers could help you out. And until next time.